Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a question I get asked all the time. What laptop should I buy? It's a huge decision, right? You're about to drop some serious cash on a device you'll probably use every single day. The market is flooded with options, and all the tech specs can sound like a foreign language. But don't worry, I'm here to break it all down for you. By the end of this video, you'll be able to walk into a store or browse online with confidence, knowing exactly what to look for. So grab a notebook, and let's find the perfect laptop for you. First things first. Let's talk about the absolute most important question you need to ask yourself. What will I use this laptop for? Seriously, this is the foundation for every other decision. Are you a student who just needs something for writing papers, browsing the web, and maybe some Netflix? Are you a creative professional who will be editing 4K videos or designing complex graphics? Maybe you're a hardcore gamer who needs top-tier performance for the latest titles? Or perhaps you're a business user who is always on the go and needs something light with a long battery life. Be honest with yourself. There's no point in buying a super-powered gaming rig if you're really only going to use it for Microsoft Word. Your primary use case will determine your budget and the specs you need to prioritize. Let's start with the basics, what I call the everyday user or student category. If your main tasks are web browsing, email, streaming video, and using office software like Google Docs or Microsoft Office, you really don't need to break the bank. For this group, I'd say the key things to look for are a comfortable keyboard, a decent screen, and good battery life. You can find fantastic options in the Chromebook world or with entry-level Windows laptops. A processor like an Intel Core i3 or an AMD Ryzen 3 is more than enough power. As for memory, or RAM, 8GB is the sweet spot. You could get by with 4, but 8 will give you a much smoother experience when you have multiple tabs and apps open. For storage, a 256GB solid-state drive, or SSD, is a great starting point. It's way faster than an old-school hard drive and will make your laptop feel super snappy. Now, let's move on to the operating system, or OS. This is the big debate. Windows, Mac OS, or Chrome OS. There's no single best one. It's all about personal preference and what you're used to. Windows is the most common and versatile. It runs on the widest variety of hardware from countless brands like Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Asus, meaning you have the most choice in terms of price and features. It's compatible with pretty much all software out there, especially for gaming. Then you have Mac OS, which runs exclusively on Apple's MacBooks. MacBooks are known for their premium build quality, excellent user interface, and strong security. They're very popular with creative professionals due to the optimization of software like Final Cut Pro and the Adobe Suite. The ecosystem is a huge draw too. If you already have an iPhone and an iPad, a MacBook will integrate seamlessly. The downside is they come with a premium price tag and are less customizable or repairable. Finally, there's Chrome OS, which you'll find on Chrome OS. These laptops are designed to be simple, secure, and cloud-based. They run on Google's Chrome browser and are perfect for tasks done primarily online. They're generally very affordable, have amazing battery life, and boot up in seconds. However, their offline capabilities are more limited, and you can't install traditional software like the full Adobe Photoshop. But with the addition of Android app support, their functionality has grown a lot. So, think about which environment you feel most comfortable in and which one supports the apps you absolutely need. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the core components. We'll start with the CPU, or the processor. This is the brain of your laptop. The main players are Intel and AMD. For Intel, you'll see names like Core i3, i5, i7, and i9. For AMD, it's Ryzen 3, 5, 7, and 9. Think of it like this. 3 is for basic tasks. 5 is the mid-range all-rounder perfect for most people. 7 is for more demanding tasks and gaming. And 9 is the top of the line for heavy-duty professional work. Pay attention to the generation of the chip too. Next up is RAM, or memory. As I mentioned, RAM is what your computer uses for multitasking. The more RAM you have, the more applications and browser tabs you can have open at once without things slowing down. 8GB is my recommended minimum for a good experience today. If you're a heavy multitasker, a developer, or you work with large files, I'd strongly suggest stepping up to 16GB. For high-end gaming or professional video editing, 32GB or even more might be necessary. It's one of the best ways to ensure your laptop stays fast and responsive for years to come. Now, storage. This is where your files, applications, and operating system live. There are two main types, hard disk drives or HDDs and solid-state drives, or SSDs. My advice is simple, get an SSD. They are exponentially faster than HDDs. Your laptop will boot up in seconds, apps will launch instantly, and everything just feels quicker. HDDs offer more storage for less money, but the speed trade-off is huge. If you need a ton of space, a good compromise can be a smaller SSD for your operating system, and a larger HDD for file storage, though this is more common in desktops. For most people, a 512GB SSD is the perfect balance of speed and space. If you're on a tight budget, 256GB is manageable, especially if you use cloud storage. Let's talk about what you'll be looking at all day, the display. A few key things to consider here are size, resolution, and panel type. Laptop screens typically range from 11 to 17 inches. 13 to 14 inches is the sweet spot for portability and usability. 15 inches is a great all-rounder, and 17 inches is more of a desktop replacement. Great for gaming or creative work, but not fun to carry around. Resolution is next. Full HD, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels, is the standard and looks sharp on most screen sizes. Avoid anything less if you can. For creative work or just a more premium experience, a QHD or 4K screen will look incredibly crisp, but they do consume more battery and require more graphical power. Finally, look for an eyepiece panel if you can. They offer much better color accuracy and wider viewing angles than the cheaper TN panels. For all you gamers and creative pros, we need to talk about the graphics card, or GPU. Most laptops come with integrated graphics, which are part of the CPU. These are fine for everyday tasks and light photo editing, but if you want to play modern games, edit video, or do 3D modeling, you need a dedicated or discrete graphics card. The main brands here are NVIDIA's GeForce and AMD's Radeon. Similar to CPUs, the model numbers tell you the performance level. For NVIDIA, you'll see RTX 4050, 4060, 4070, and so on. A 50 series is entry-level for gaming, a 60 is the mid-range sweet spot, and a 70 or 80 is for high-end enthusiasts. Don't get too bogged down in the numbers. But just know that if your workflow is graphically intensive, a dedicated GPU is not optional, it's a necessity. Finally, let's not forget the physical aspects: build quality, keyboard, trackpad, and ports. This is where seeing a laptop in person can really help. How does it feel? Is it plastic and creaky, or is it solid aluminum? You'll be typing on the keyboard a lot, so make sure it's comfortable with good key travel. Is the trackpad responsive and large enough? And ports? In the age of thin and light laptops, ports are disappearing. Think about what you need to connect. Do you use USB-IA drives, an external monitor with HDMI, or an SD card from your camera? Make sure the laptop has the ports you need, or be prepared to live the dongle life. And of course, battery life. Look at reviews for real-world battery tests, not just the manufacturer's claims. If you're always on the move, a laptop that can last a full 8-hour workday without a charger is a game changer. So, let's recap. 1. Define your primary use case. 2. Choose your operating system: Windows, Mac OS, or Chrome OS. 3. For the CPU and RAM, aim for a Core i5 or Ryzen 5 with at least 8 GB of RAM for general use, and 16 GB if you can. 4. Always choose an SSD for storage, with 512 GB being the sweet spot. 5. A full HD IPS display is your best bet for a great viewing experience. 6. If you're a gamer or creator, invest in a dedicated graphics card. And 7. Don't forget to check the build quality, keyboard, and ports. I know that's a lot of information, but breaking it down by these categories makes the whole process much less intimidating. The perfect laptop is out there for you. It's about finding the right balance of performance, features, and price for your specific needs. Do your research, read and watch reviews, and if possible, try them out in a store. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this guide helps you on your laptop buying journey. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tech guides like this one. If you have any questions or want to share what laptop you're thinking of getting, drop a comment down below. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, take care.